Hello everyone, hope you're all having a fantastic day today and welcome to a very nostalgic video for me. I've been on this nostalgic train, first with the Lego Xbox 360, but this one more so because this is an actual device. Now, at the time of recording this video, or I guess uploading this video, it's going to be basically, I think 2 years now? Yeah, 2 years now since Apple essentially ditched and axed the entire iPod lineup and just marking the end of iPods because iPhones basically have covered the iPod aspect of it, and this is a very niche product nowadays, so makes sense of why Apple axed it. But the entire iPod lineup has been genuinely one of my most sentimental pieces of tech that I've used over my childhood. This thing was everywhere for me back in like 2009 to 2011. In middle school, people had 3 devices, right? All of my classmates had 3 devices. It was a PSP, a DS, and or an iPod. And usually if it was an iPod, around that time, it was the iPod Touch. Other than the iPod Touch, you did have the Nano and the Shuffle, but mainly it was the iPod Touch. And yeah, the iPod Touch was such a big thing in my school. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys who were in elementary, middle school around that time too. So this is the iPod I actually ran with at the time. This is my iPod Touch 4th generation. This thing came out like over a decade ago. And for an iPod, this thing basically had most of the features that the iPhone had at the time. Outside of the cellular network, this thing was, like they said, an iPhone without the phone. And this thing was a relic of the past. I remember all of the boys, we would be playing Call of Duty Zombies co-op on this thing, or just listening to music, watching movies on this thing. This thing was incredible for a little pocket device, and I miss how small these things were. Going with a 15 Pro Max, you don't realize how much you miss dealing with small devices until you have to fit one in your pockets. So yeah, this thing holds a lot of value to me. I'm never going to sell this because this thing still actually works and has all of my old stuff on it. So yeah, but that's beside the point. I do have some other iPods here. This is my iPod Nano. Mainly this doesn't have all the iPhone. This is basically not an iPhone at all, but this thing was priority in music, did the job, and hasn't gotten the spicy pillows, so that's good to see. But that's beside the point. We're going to be talking about this iPod, and we're going to be unboxing it, which is a 7th generation iPod Touch. This is actually the last iPod Touch that Apple ever sold, or I guess the last iPod Apple ever sold before they discontinued it. I actually purchased this thing around the time that Apple actually discontinued the iPods, so that was like in February 2 years ago. So this thing is 2 years old now, and at the time a lot of people really wanted to flock to these iPod Touches all of a sudden after the announcement. And I think that was mainly because they just wanted to see the market value and see if this thing could potentially spike up in price. Unfortunately, I don't think it has over the past 2 years. And, I initially had the same idea too, keeping this and holding it on for a couple of years to sell off on eBay. But after seeing the market and just kind of reassessing what I want to do now, I kind of want to turn this iPod now into like the ultimate car music player that I just load up in my car and just play all my tunes on, have downloaded all my songs. And also, if I could potentially move all of my files and content from this iPod to this iPod, because this thing, batteries died, and I just kind of want to continue keeping that legacy of the iPod. So I'm going to be unboxing this here. Can't wait for this thing to lose all of its value now that I'm unboxing it. But yeah, let's get into it. Here it is. This thing is such a classic design of the iPod, the crystal clear design. I miss this packaging. So yeah, well, here we go. Unboxing this. There goes all of its value. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and unbox it right here. Let me open it up. There we go. Woo! Okay. Open up here. Oh, by the way, this says 32 gigs if you guys didn't see in the back. But yeah, we can go ahead and unbox it here. So here's the iPod Touch right here. This thing is tiny compared to any iPhone, but let's go ahead. Designed by Apple in California. Packaging is still almost the exact same. You have your fingertips, the iPod Touch fingertips right here, your very small Apple stickers, and your warranty. But obviously with the iPod Touches being discontinued, I don't think anyone's really going for a warranty nowadays. In here as well, you also have your USB to Lightning cable. I already have a USB-C to Lightning, so I don't really need this. And some wired, earphones, I think they're called. Definitely going to use these. These things actually have started to fall off, but regardless, I mean, this is very classic packaging by Apple. Literally everything here that came in the box is almost exactly the same, or essentially exactly the same that the 4th generation did, that I did almost a decade ago. So yeah, I mean, it came in basically almost the same packaging too, so pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and put everything back here. Let's look at the iPod itself. I mean, man, this thing looks good in the blue color. I've actually been playing a lot of Persona 3 lately, and I kind of want to turn this into kind of like a themed, like Persona 3-esque iPod. Basically, the ultimate music player, almost like with Makoto uses in the game. Even though Makoto doesn't even use an iPod in the game, so... Oh, well, I accidentally, I don't think I broke the case, but the packaging, but it kind of snapped out like that. But you can see here, we're opening it up like this. And let's see here. So we're gonna rip off the iPod here. Oh man. And there you go. There's the iPod. Man, I miss this white like front. None of the new iPhones have this white front, and none of the new iPads either. So I miss this color aesthetic. So man, I mean, comparing this to my iPod Touch 4th generation, it ain't much bigger, but in comparison to everyday smartphones, this thing is tiny. So very, very excited to see what to do. This thing is still, I'm just amazed at how small it is. So you can see your headphone jack, lightning port, speaker. Let's see if this actually turns on after these 2 years. It's probably dead. Yeah, it's dead basically. I guess I'll go ahead and charge it up, but let me see, let me just get everything out of the way. Let me see if I can charge this up right now, actually. All right, after a little bit of time setting everything up here, I finally got the iPod to work. Took a little bit of time to, for this to charge up because it lost all of its battery when it was in there for like 2 years. But yeah, here's the iPod interface. I mean, this thing is pretty typical of a normal iPod, or a normal iPhone nowadays. So even you got your classic widget lineup, but I just want to give you guys how small this thing is. Like, holy moly, this thing is tiny. Something that you can easily fit in like a small pouch, a small bag, or like even like a small, anything small really, just fit in your jean pocket. I actually brought out my DSi that I also bought around the time, that I also had around the time of the 2009-2011 era, just to compare to. I mean, this thing is smaller than this DSi. I mean, the fact that they're able to make it super thin and super lightweight like they did here is still incredible engineering, in my opinion. With the internals of the iPhone 7, I mean, this thing is just incredible, like incredible engineering. So bravo to Apple on that. But yeah, gonna be going ahead and basically loading this with a bunch of music. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this really nice nostalgic unboxing for me, and just me storytelling about iPods back in the day and just my childhood with the iPod lineup. I'm looking forward to repurposing this iPod to something really nice, giving this brand new device a life. So yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If not, give a dislike. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.